wanted to show you a little bit about what we got going on inside the camper. We do a lot of walk-arounds on the outside and tell you about how we build the trucks, but wanted to show you a little bit of the kit that we bring along with us on our guided trips and our team trips. So come along and take a look. So let's start with the door. The door has a pretty standard setup, I would say, for the Alu cab and as far as accessories go. We do have the GP Factor drop-down table and their Molle panels, which make it really easy to not only have a ton of flat space, but also give us a place to mount a lot of things. So we do have our standard dimmer box. Fun fact, these dimmer boxes can link together. So when we're on the team trips and we have multiple dimmer boxes running, we can have surround sound around the campfire, which is pretty awesome. Paper towels with the paper towel holder. I do have a fire extinguisher here, bear spray, dog bowls, a cleaning kit with just kind of gloves and a reusable trash bag. And then here I have our cooking kit. Everyone would call it the drunk drawer. So we do have a voltmeter, some extra hardware to mount things on the side of the camper, and then any bathroom supplies. One thing that is unique to what I did in my camper, I created this little electrical kit based off of anything that I might need for the camper. So you see camper electronics kit. So that goes with us everywhere we go, just in case anything happens. We have everything that we would need in order to fix the camper. So this is our coffee drawer. You can also see it's where we keep our toothbrushes and toothpaste. In here we just keep a jet boil, extra fuel, and then this is also where we store our olive oil for cooking. So it makes it easy. We don't have to store our coffee in anything fancy. We'll just go ahead and pick up some coffee at the grocery store whenever we stop. So if I come around on this side, we have a cabinet here on either side. This is the driver's side, and this is where we store our chairs. So we run the Helinox chairs. They pack up really nice and small into these bags. And we also run the table that is the perfect height for these chairs. And this is also where the compressor is. So we can actually turn that on from the electrical panel here. So we don't keep too much stuff in here, but this is where we access and store a lot of our things that we're taking in and out of the camper often. On the right side here, this is mostly dry food storage and cooking. So if I open up this bottom drawer here, you can see we have all of our plates and bowls and cups, pots and pans, knives, and we do keep some hot sauces and seasonings down there as well. These drawers are really awesome. They're pretty deep, so everything fits perfectly. This is where we keep kind of like dry food, like we have some pasta in here, some hot apple cider, hot chocolate. We do keep some Tupperware in here. It is often that we make a lot of food that needs to go home, and then can't forget the emergency Spam. All right, so on the passenger side, this cabinet doesn't get accessed as much, so we tend to keep things in here that we just don't need as often as we do. So that's why we keep the chairs and everything on the driver's side. But back here we keep any number of towels. We do have 2 dogs, so we want to make sure that we're trying our best to keep this at least clean and accessible. Down here I also keep a fishing rod. Let's see, what else do I have down here? As well as a bottle jack that is slightly upgraded from the stock one that's under the seat. It does give us a little bit more lift height given the truck is lifted and everything like that. You can see that I have some stratchets. That keeps the stove in place here. That just always lives there in case we need to cook. You can see that I added a spigot here. So that is actually plumbed from the water tank under the goose gear drawer, and it comes out here as well as out the back. Having something inside like this is nice that we don't have to open up the door if it's cold outside or if it's inclement weather. We can still fill up our water bottles and get water for the dogs. A set of plugs here that are wired to an inverter that is actually behind the refrigerator back here. So I do only have 2 panels up here that I mounted with just McMaster hardware. These are Grayman Technical panels. But here we have a bunch of matches and lighters. I do keep fat wood in here. So you can never have enough fat wood to get a fire started. And then those pouches, which are currently empty, are usually filled with shower pouches and wet wipes. Again, for just cleaning off after a long day on the road. In our Alu box that we keep with us, we also keep an RV inline water filter. So that's what allowed us to fill up at gas stations or at places where we might not be sure about how the water quality is coming from the spigot. This is actually a New Holland Overland Molle panel that I put right here. And it just holds our axe, our ice scraper, as well as some extra radios in case any of our guests or one of us needs an extra radio. And on the passenger side, again, we don't keep a ton of stuff in here that needs to be accessed all the time, but we do have some rock climbing chalk. This just holds whatever we have. In here, I do keep the cord for the Warren winch, just in case the battery in the remote goes out. And then in this top pouch, we keep these clean waste toilet packages. So when we look up, you can see I just took one of those kind of random truck bed cargo nets, and it's actually riveted into the metal of the ceiling there. And so that gives us a good place to store jackets. You can see an extra just backpacking meal up there, towel, hats, just things that would normally end up thrown and strewn about whenever we're moving quickly. Can't really get a great angle, but this is under the second trap door. And on the right side here, we have charging cables that hook into the electrical panel should we need to charge anything. And then we have my wife's like cosmetics bag, as well as a what we call the pharmacy bag. So allergy meds, Tylenol, Cordaid, Benadryl, all of that kind of stuff. The pouch in the middle here, we usually just keep a chest set and a slingshot just for plinking around at camp, a mirror, and a lighter for the stove. Over time, we're going to be taking stuff out and reducing how many different things we got going on in here, just to simplify. I think Jason's done a really good job of that, but we're still learning and trying to understand how this vehicle suits our needs. So it not only needs to suit the needs of Mountain State on our team trips, living out of the trucks for 2 weeks at a time. It also needs to help suit our guided trips. So that's why everything is labeled in case people need to grab aluminum foil or toilet paper or a shower pouch or different things that our guests might not have on their trips. What you see in here is enough stuff for not only me, but also for my wife and for our dogs. Please, would love to know your thoughts. Would love to know your suggestions about how you might improve the inside of the camper and what you might deem unnecessary. Always open to feedback and excited that I was able to share this with you all. So thanks, and check out Mountain State Overland on YouTube and tell your friends. Thanks, bye.